Okay, some people were wanting to know about stretching hides. All these have been drying since yesterday. If you look at this hide, it looks fairly dark on one side, but now if you watch when I stretch it, you'll see it turns white. That's called breaking the hide. That's called stretching it. When it's dry enough, it will break like that. If it's too wet, that will not break. The hide will move, but then it'll just come back into place and won't be broken. Like this is wet, I can stretch it, but it's not broken. The hide is not broken. So when I stretch my hides, when they're drying, this is what I do. I go through and I stretch them one at a time. It's very long. See, this is dried, so I'll have to get that re-wet before I can stretch it and properly break it. It'll have a different texture to it than the stuff that's broken. It won't feel as soft. It won't be as flexible. You gotta be careful when you have tears in the hide where you're stretching around it and at the edges so you don't tear it. So that's where it dried out. You can see it's kind of shiny, crinkly. It has a thicker feeling to it. This that's been broken, it still feels slightly damp. Well, at least the hair does. But it's got a better feel to it. It doesn't have that creased, dry look to it either. Again, you should just see it break. And just use 2 hands. That one's pretty wet still. You can see some of it's breaking where it's kind of dry. See how I'm chasing it? But the goal is that once they're dry, they look like this. This has no oil on it. This has just been tanned, and this one was done with battery acid and kosher salt and the brine. I've only broken it once, and you see how flexible it is. Again, it's a young hide, so it's not real thick. It's not very thick. The older hides, where's one? This is an older hide. It's thicker leather. It's stiffer. It's going to be stiffer. It's still flexible, but it's just going to be stiffer because it's an older animal. This one was probably a couple of years old. So, but yeah, you want, after it's finished breaking, to be like that. Nice and flexible and loose, soft. I can go back through with some leather oil, protect it some. I can pull off little imperfections when it's dried like this and cured. I probably won't use hardly any of the outside. I'm looking for big square patches. So I'm building a quilt, making a quilt out of all my Rex hides. This is the Rex fur. And these are just New Zealand's down here. But again, you can see how it's wet. Has some discoloration, what looks like discoloration, and you pull on it and you break that hide.